Network Entertainment.
This is brought to you by Meralco.
Hello, students and junior professionals of PR and communications. Welcome to the Pioneer PRSP YouthCon in a podcast. This is Breaking Down the Buzz. And I am your host, Rudy Villar, Chief Client Partner of Villar Blank Consulting and consultant of TOG Integrated. Do you know that you're part of history? Yes, you are. The PRSP YouthCon in a podcast is the first of its kind in the communications industry. Breaking Down the Buzz is in partnership with the Pod Network. This collaboration really shows how the different entities work together to create innovative ideas to reach more students and young professionals. By using platforms like podcasts, PRSP and the Pod Network deliver learnings to a wider audience. Breaking Down the Buzz is a 12-part podcast series that tackles different topics every podcast. The 12 topics are designed to be relevant to students and practitioners of PR and communications. So let's get started. Okay, today's topic is exciting because it's all about showbiz. The role of PR in showbiz and entertainment. And our featured guests represent the three networks in the country. First, we have Kane Errol Choa, Vice President of Corporate Communications of ABS-CBN. We have Isabel Belay Santillan, VP and Head of Signal Entertainment. And of course, Lawrence Tan Lau, the Consultant, Head of Branding and Talent Imaging of GMA Network. Okay, so let's just hear from our guests. Can you tell our audience what you do in your company?
Yeah, thanks, Rudy. First of all, I'm flattered that you call ABS-CBN a network, but we're no longer a TV network.
Okay.
We're a media company right now.
Yun.
But in ABS-CBN, I handle the corporate communications, the corporate PR, and that dabbles with corporate and entertainment PR, which is the topic today. Yeah.
Okay, Belay.
Hello. Similar to what Kane said, Signal is actually a pay TV company. So my role there is in the content and in the business development of content that comes out of Signal.
I'm Lau. I used to work in ABS as corporate communications and PR. I also worked at Viva with Regal and a bit with TV5. Right now, I'm consultant for GMA7 Sparkle, which is our talent agency. And I'm also a consultant for their promotional services group, which includes PR events, etc.
Okay, let me shoot the first question. What brought you to this side of communications? How did you end up in ABS, in TV5?
Everywhere.
Viva. So let's start with Lau.
I started in advertising. So in advertising is communications, whether it's for clients or for services or etc. And when I joined ABS, the first thing I told my boss, Freddy Garcia, then was, I can do any division except PR. And that's where he put me. And that's where I learned the most. So you learn how to manage crisis, you learn how to manage people, you learn how to manage egos. And you create really great relationships, both with the press, with your talents, with your artists, with the people in the company. So that's how I started in PR.
Okay, how about you, Belay?
Okay, this is an interesting fact about me. I think not a lot of people know this, but I started out in PR with Tony Zorilla. And I'm dating myself, no? Bata pa po ako.
Okay.
But I started out as a media relations officer with the PR agent, Zorilla and Partners. And then I moved to advertising after that. But as what Lau said nga, with PR kasi you build relationships and you learn the value of having a network. After advertising, I moved to Media 5. That's the sales and marketing arm of TV5. Did that job for about 3 years. And then after that, I moved to Viva. So I also worked with Boss Vic, integrated sales. And then umikot na rin ako, Cines, SM Lifestyle Cinema. And now I'm back with the MVP Group with Signal, the pay TV business naman.
Okay. Kane, how about you?
I started as I started TV, not TV5, it was ABC5 then. I started as a broadcast journalist working in the news department. So my career in PR, I always say, was accidental. There was an opportunity to join Senator Santiago as a PR at the time, so I joined her. So I dabbled in political PR first with Senator Santiago, Senator Villar, then moving to Agatep Associates under Charlie Agatep, if you have Zorilia.
Yeah. Yes.
My mentor was Agatep, and then and then my college instructor, Bong Osorio, the late Bong Osorio, joined ABS, and he asked me to join him, and that's when I joined ABS-CBN and corporate communications.
Okay, we have a long list, no? So I think this next question is very relevant to you. Like, so how has PR changed from the time you started and what it is now? Belay.
Well, for one, digital played a very big role. Before, if it's press con, you invite all the press, and now you can do a press con in your house, and just having your phone or your camera. With that, I think the relationship, before kasi it was face to face. So, you do have a relationship with media and other, I guess, mga reporters. Right now, if it's not face to face, I would think the relationship, it became, well, in my experience, in some, it became very transactional.
Okay.
Naging ganun siya.
Like you start in PR, now you're PR.
The difference now is that people now have a platform to voice how they feel. Sometimes even if they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's true.
With social media, they can voice out whatever they feel. So there's a bit of a shift to not just managing a few people, but who have a voice, to managing technically everyone out in the digital space. Because whoever you are, whatever you do, you can say something. Whether it's right or wrong, it can be our problem or it can be our strength. So a lot of empowerment through social media when it comes to PR. But there's also a lot of barriers and broken trusts and wrongness when it comes to PR on social media. I'm sure Kane and Bella have gone through all of that for the respective companies.
Okay. Kane, very interesting. From Charlie to Norman. So how has PR changed from the time of Charlie into the time of Norman?
A lot. No? I mean, if you talk about the principles of public relations, I think they have remained the same. But
Yes.
Communication technologies have changed the way we communicate with our audiences, with our stakeholders, and changed the way we communicate. As Bella and Lau said, the digital platform have made everyone a storyteller, a gatekeeper of information, and an influencer. Whereas before, your PR, your job tends to end when the news cycle of the day ends. Pag deadline, nagsara ng dyaryo, tapos ng newscast, you can sleep, you can enjoy. But because the digital world is 24/7, our work is now 24/7. And as Lau said, anybody can say anything, and crisis issues can happen anytime, and you can have to manage it 24/7.
Speaking about crisis, what was the most challenging crisis issue that you...
I cannot talk about it.
Ako rin.
They're always confidential.
I've been through I've been through so many presidents politically. I've handled several candidates. I've been through movie stars as early as Nora Honor. So there are things that remain unsaid.
Okay. Okay.
Now, Rudy, I'd like to add lang, I guess siguro, PR strategies. Right now, everything is so fast, and people think that, writing a press release and distributing it is already your PR strategy. It's very, it's communication. At the end of the day, you identify what the communication problem is, you devise a strategy how to address the communication problem. It's not just a matter of releasing a press release or a photo release or a statement.
Which are poorly written, by the way.
Oh,
lately.
yes, that's true.
I have to say, when I read press statements and press releases lately, there seems to be an abundance of adjectives.
Yeah.
And there seems to be a lack of content or news, which is what the press statement is for.
Okay, I would like you to expound on that with this question. Like, making a PR campaign for a consumer goods product or for any company for that matter, and doing an image building or a PR campaign for a celebrity, how different is
Kane and I are looking at each other. It's the same. At the end of the day, whether it's human or not, you give it the same amount of attention and strategy. Because while one is inanimate but has a longer shelf life, the other one is alive but it's so dynamic, it will change in a split second. So,
Di ba, isn't
Kane
it harder
agrees.
to control if it's a person?
It's for me, with handling all the people that I've worked with, there's a pattern. They're human. The less judgmental you are and the more you understand them, the easier to do crisis PR. I don't know if Kane and Bella agree. Kane, napapangiti na lang eh.
Kane.
Say something.
What can you say about
I agree
that?
with Love. I guess, if you handle the personality, you look at the brand essence just like a product.
Right.
You look at the what's the strength, what are the weaknesses, and you spot the opportunities where you can bring out the best of that person and connect with the audiences. So it's pretty much the same as the principles as you do your PR campaign for a company or for an organization. But people can say anything and do anything. That's the variable that changes some of the plans that you have to adjust and adapt quickly as they happen.
Okay, well, another difference, like when you do a PR campaign for a product and for a person like celebrity, the celebrity kasi has a say, as an input. How is the how does it happen? Kasi products wala eh. You plan for a certain brand, yun na yun.
But you have clients.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But this one, you deal with a living person. So, do you how involved are they, or what are the kinds of approaches? If the celebrity is very involved, highly involved, or passive and all. So, what are the
I
different
think
kinds of?
It's important that you're aligned with the celebrity on the direction. But there are times, they're just human. Sometimes when they're provoked, then they get to say something that's off the strategy or off the direction. So that becomes a problem. That's where, the dynamism happens, that, all of a sudden you have to make a shift because the celebrity that you're managing or you're handling did something that's off the strategy or off the direction that you agreed upon.
Okay.
With my case, I look at what life stage they're in, because it really changes the mechanics of how you handle them. If you're an upstart actress or actor, they're more participative. You actually dictate a lot. Once they gain a bit of momentum and they discover their own selves, their brand, and then they become more participative. So there's no quick formula. It
Yeah,
just really
it
depends on
varies.
their life stage, depends on their specific need, and depends on the issue that has to be addressed.
Okay. Kane, in your part naman.
Yeah, in our part, I don't handle the PR of Star Magic. It's handled separately. But when the stars appear in the programs, that's where we come in. When we promote the shows and their involvement in the shows. But they do participate in brand essence workshops where we get to know them more and try to come up with their brand essence. So they do participate. Yeah.
I think it's good that they participate because at the end of the day, you cannot make somebody into what they're not, because eventually their authentic self will reveal itself.
That's right.
So, but what are the challenges in doing that? Kasi nga, yun, again, sa product, wala eh. May clients lang, but clients you can,
Should I make this discussion happier now?
Yes.
So example, you have an artist who has a sex video
Okay.
that leaked online. How do you manage that? He or she is human, or it was leaked by a vindictive ex. How do you manage that? Do you condemn them? Do you dump them? Do you talk to them? Do you confront them? It depends on the artist and depends on what the next step should be for the artist in terms of career? Napatahimik si King. King, kayo pinakamarami, di ba? Sa TV5 tsaka sa GMA, wala.
Marami ni si
Wala masyado. Mas marami kayo.
Sex video ba yan? Ang pinag-uusap.
Kayo wala, di ba? TV5 wala.
Behave.
ABS, madami.
Although we had one, ito na. Di ba? Hindi.
Tago natin sa pangalan na.
No, it's not just with one network.
Yeah.
It's actually with iba-iba yan eh.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the ways is that you also do workshops for your young stars.
Yes.
Make them realize what the power of digital is. To make them more aware of what digital footprints they will leave when they post something. They may think it's harmless, but it can come to haunt them in the future. So I guess educating your young artists, the implications, consequences of your post and what you do on digital will help prevent, but again, it's not a 100% solution.
So that's why you have a campaign now.
That's one. That's
May
that's
Forever sa
Yes.
social media.
Okay, our audience now are young students, young professionals. But for those students who would love to go into this field,
Sex videos?
in the field of PR for
If you do sex
for
videos,
showbiz.
everything below the neck, nothing above. Deny.
But people are very good in doing online detectives.
That's
You know,
true.
right?
Yeah.
They will trace in the past picture of yours. You have this mark.
They connect.
yes.
The bracelet.
You have a scar here and that. Ang galing nila. They spend so much time.
Connect nila.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Sorry,
That's true.
Rudy.
Okay, so going back to my question nga, what advice can you give to young students who would love to go into this field of PR in show business?
I think if you are a very active social media person and you learn from it or you've experienced being bashed and everything, that sets the groundwork for being a good PR person. To go through the hell that your future clients will have to go through gives you a better perspective on what to do social media wise. But as a senior citizen actually, I think at the end of the day, we will go back to the strength of relationships. Because keyboard warriors are so meek when you meet them. But if you have a strong relationship with a person, they will be your warriors.
That's true.
So authenticity, sincerity, to build stronger relations with whoever your market is, will guarantee you a stronger base when a crisis comes.
Yung you call and say, news
Tanggalin mo na yan.
blackout. Oo, news blackout.
Pakiusap.
Yeah. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's not a lot of PR, I guess, in the showbiz world. So I guess it's mostly, media. But PR in terms of building an image or creating an image, there are a few, but I don't see or I don't get to meet a lot. But maybe that's just me.
Kami marami na ngayon.
Okay.
Kayo rin.
Yeah, I think I would advise, aside from yung they must love social media, is they must love showbiz.
That's
yes.
true.
There must be a
That's
deep
true.
interest in the programs, in the stars.
That's true.
Kasi wala talagang hilig. I've had, interns before na wala talagang hilig sa show business. And when you get into it, talagang lalabas at lalabas na talagang walang output, no? People who have followed the history of the stars, the network, the
Yes.
shows, that will help a lot. And dapat love for social media because entertainment thrives on social media. Celebrities have a lot of fans. They're so active online. So I think that's also one of the changes that I have seen in recent years is that nowadays when media cons, hindi lang media and bloggers,
Yes,
but you also have
that's true.
vloggers.
Yeah.
This is the age of already visual storytelling. Pagdating ng press con ngayon, wala na nagsusulat sa notebook, lahat phone, they record. And they upload it instantly. Stories,
Live,
YouTube,
no?
yes, live streaming, TikTok, everything. Instant. So, yung control mo na ngayon ng news mo, talagang wala na talaga. You have to be prepared because the moment you go on a press con, everything is live, anything can happen. So, those are things that you should also watch out for. So, somebody wants to get into PR must know the how the different platforms of social media work, the different functions, the way to communicate to the audiences on YouTube. It's different from the way you'll communicate
true.
on Facebook, everything. So, social media maven and talagang dapat diehard fan ng showbiz. That will help talaga.
I agree with the Marites factor. But you also have to have a very high EQ because of the number of people you will deal with from the different walks of life. You have to be emotionally flexible enough to adjust to their state of mind, etc. Because if you treat them as brands without any compassion or kindness, it doesn't work that way. I keep repeating, at the end of the day, they are human. And we have to respect and honor that with kindness and compassion.
Okay.
Parang hindi ako, di ba?
Yeah, funny that you actually referred to a press con as media con na,
Yes.
no, di ba? Parang you don't say, oh nga, no. you
Press
don't.
con kasi noon is written press.
Oh,
Written.
right. Now,
Okay.
So,
now
publications,
it's
magazines.
Now nga,
Media
people say
conference.
media con na. Oh.
Multimedia na eh.
Ako, I find it useless now to even have a photo session to distribute photos.
No.
They're hardly used.
Exactly.
So, iba na.
Even press kits, they just want everything sent digitally. They don't want any more printouts, you know.
We used to prepare
Oh
folders.
my God.
Wala
I
na.
remember my younger days, tagapak ako ng press kit.
Now
Yeah,
they just say, email mo na lang.
Yes. Send mo na lang yung photos, ganyan. Or they will they just take photos at the media concert, take videos. That's what they're after now. The opportunity to take videos, photos, and interview stars for their own sites.
But even if
content.
you give let's say, a guide on the press kits,
Nah.
but once they're there in the MediaCon live and, the guest
Iba na.
says something, then they pick it up and create a PR angle. Iba rin eh.
They have to create their own stories.
Exactly.
So they will pounce on anything that
So ano ngayon, like when you do a campaign for a celebrity, for example, dapat siya omni-channel o dapat
Yeah.
Yes.
anong
Yes.
okay.
Oo.
So among all the celebrities, siguro kahit in the past, sino sa tingin niyo yung magaling? Alam niyo yun, yung madaling turuan na gano'n. Katuwaan lang, past experience. Sino yung mga
those who shall not be named.
Parang meron ako in my head pero ayoko
Hindi, magaling naman magaling Oh, hindi naman negative Kung sino yung mga magaling na madaling turuan at alam na alam niya.
Pwede bang off the record? Mamaya
Ako, pass.
Kahit magaling. Magaling naman
magaling.
Ako, example for me, from Sparkle, I think Heart Evangelista
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
is a very good example of how well she
She knows
Yeah.
she knows what she's doing.
from show business to now the toast of European and New York and British fashion. That is a feat she did by herself through social media. So that's an example from our end. Ewan ko kay Kane to.
Sige.
Ako,
Kane.
wala
Sa inyo si
Manila.
Andrea Brillante, sa tingin ko. Napakagaling niya mag-market ng sarili niya. Sa totoo lang.
Natawa lang si Kane.
Sumagot ka, Kane.
Wala ka pang sagot.
bibip ko na lang.
Correct. Ta-text na lang niya. Actually,
magaling
you're
naman
right.
Yung
yeah.
magaling naman
Wala akong maisip ngayon.
TV5.
Pass muna ako. Sa TV5. I'm thinking even sa sports kung sino yung... wala akong maisip ngayon.
Yung FIBA niyo, bongge.
Oo.
It was an event, it's not a person. But
Okay.
it just social media.
I
Like,
guess siguro the latest na... I'm not... Well, with shot, di ba? Ang daming haters.
yeah.
Ang daming haters. And ang
Daming
rin-
magaling.
Oo, ang dami rin magaling. Pero I guess he was able to manage. He was quiet, though. Of course, he was coaching. But after that, I think he said a very good statement na it was a call from the country and, it was a job. He had to do it.
Okay.
and the clothes were nice, honestly.
Ay, oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the subject of some news
Yes,
reports.
diba?
Pero hindi pa
Oo.
sumasagot si Kane.
Ay, naku, ang dami niyan. I'm
mahirap.
sure.
Gusto mo ako sumagot?
Sige
I'm
lang.
sure.
Ako sasagot para sa'yo. Maraming magagaling sa ABS na
I think,
media savvy, in fairness.
With the resurgence of movies, bumabalik yung mga tao sa sinehan. Paano na ngayon ang ng movies in terms of PR? Kasi doon, ano lang, di ba? Pa-premiere ka lang, tapos may print ad ka lang, trailer, tapos. Ngayon ba, how different is it when you promote a movie?
I think movies, importante pa rin yung word of mouth.
Yep.
And you can't afford a bad publicity before the movie is shown. Unlike in TV, midway, mahaba yung series eh. Pwede ka pang bumawi midway. Pero movie, bago mag-open, pag bad reviews na yan, it can affect. Good reviews, it can affect. So it's very important that the promotion before the movie is shown and during it when it is also shown. That's very important. So word of mouth is very important, and social media is just documenting all the word of mouth. Mga dati word of mouth lang, verbal and print. Ngayon, it's on social media. People vlog about it. They talk about the movie. They give their reviews. Anybody can be a reviewer nowadays, and it's not like, before you have certain critics lang that you would invite. So, and the fans play another major role because they're the ones also supporting the stars on social media and talking about it and fanning a lot of things about the stars and the movies.
Ikaw, Lau, paano na ngayon ang movies?
I used to handle the marketing of all the Viva films, including Viva Max. So when during the pandemic, it was really just a nightmare. So it was purely just online with whatever we could do with the little we can get. But nowadays, with hopefully a resurgence, I think the traditional ways will still work. You still need to do your basic poster, trailer, TV spot, etc., etc. But Kane is right. There is now a bigger chunk of the digital world. But again, what we experienced, let's say, with 5 breakups of Julia and Alden, the artists promoting it themselves, hardworking artists promoting themselves, meeting people, was able to create more interest and word of mouth. So again, while your social media is there to create word of mouth, there's nothing like touch points, grassroots activities that will make them feel that ay ang gwapo niya, ay ang ganda niya, ay ang bait niya. Then they will talk. Give them a reason to make kwento about your movie. Then they will post on social media. In PR, it's always storytelling. So with movie fans, give them a story to tell about your movie or your stars. Or something like that.
Yeah, you create those opportunities to interact with the moviegoers who can talk about your movie, and that will sustain the interest as well.
Si Alden nagbenta ng ticket.
I saw that. Oo.
Yes.
Ticket ba? Akala ko popcorn.
Nagbenta rin.
Kagulo. Oo.
And Julia, formerly from Channel 2, was doing mall tours. I mean, for this level of stars to do that. I really hope that the movie theaters fill up again soon.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Belay, kasi you came from for a time, nag-SM Cinema ka.
Yes.
How was it naman, like in terms of, promoting, using PR as a tool when you promote? Kasi ito naman is how to, di ba? Is you're promoting the cinemas. Ito kasi ang GMA Films, Star Cinema, they promote the movies. On your end, anong klaseng PR naman ang ginagawa ninyo sa SM before?
Well, for one, ang SM kasi is the number one, the number one cinema. With regard to promotion of the cinemas, we will always, at that time, we will always have the mega malls, the MOA, and all that. The way we promote the lesser cinemas, that's where, we bring in, let's say we bring a talent, or we bring, at that time, yung mga Marvel na meron silang standee, if it's Marvel, the marketing now is, you promote using the movie still. Diba? Whether it's a Marvel, whether it's, I remember there was this movie of Nadine, Ulan. Diba?
Viva.
Oo, yun. May pa-standee, may pa-visit ni Nadine sa
May tigbalang.
cinema. Oo, ganun rin. Hindi pwedeng you rely lang on the movie. There has to be a partnership with the studio.
Okay, that's movies. Now we have on-demand streaming. So ABS-CBN's contents are streamed on different platforms. So ano naman are those programs, PR programs you do, different from the movies?
It's pretty much the same. Yeah. You also do premieres for series, whether they're shown on OTT platforms or on TV, because you want people to watch it beforehand and talk about it to create that interest. So they're pretty much the same. We also do mall tours for our cast. We bring them to the different festivals. They get invited, no? And you'll see people going, to these malls and trying to see these celebrities in person. So it's pretty much alive right now compared to pre-pandemic. You'll see the big crowds in the malls during the mall tours.
Off the record na yung mamaya. Daming kwento
You
ni
name
Kane.
names na after,
Ay!
Pikin, lalasingin ko.
Lasingin natin. Daming kwento
Okay,
yan.
kasi again, going back to my question kanina, na comparing it to a product and to the PR for a celebrity. So again, what are the main differences, and and of course, what are the things that you love most about what you're doing now in terms of doing PR for
Daming
celebrities?
tanong nun. No?
Oo nga.
Pwede bang what do we love na lang?
Sige.
Ladies first.
Ano ba? Masaya. Communication, for one, it's very dynamic. If you're handling a client, it's, different personalities, different brands, different titles. They're all iba-iba yan. Iba-ibang strategy, ibang comp plan yan. So, I guess that's what I love about my job or what I do now. Oo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting, engaging, and dynamic. Walang patay na oras.
That's true.
Never a dull moment.
Yes, never a dull moment. So that's it. It can be challenging, but at the same time, it also gives you fulfillment. So I guess that's what's important in a job that you do, something that you really like and something that fulfills you. Yeah.
Keeps me young.
Ay,
Because I meet younger people. I find out what they're into. I'm able to help them. They're able to help me. So it's a two-way process. I learn, they learn. I help, they help. To a certain extent, it can be an online relationship. But the fact that you are able to touch base with multi-generations, with multi-social economic classes, with different and a variety of issues and exciting projects is enough to get you going every day.
okay. I wish we had more time, but it's time to say goodbye. So thank you, Kane, from ABS-CBN Corporation. We have Bella Santillan from TV5 Signal, and Lau from GMA Sparkle. Correct. Yeah. Okay, so and that's a wrap for this episode. Breaking Down the Bus, the PRSP YouthCon in a podcast in partnership with the Pod Network, a pioneer 12-episode series designed for students and young practitioners of PR and communications. We hope you have learned something from this podcast. Join us for the next episode as we continue to create online discussions on the topics and touch points that matter. Thank you again, Belay.
Thank
Lau,
you.
Kane, for sharing your wisdom and experience with us. These learning sessions are created and organized by the PRSP, the Education Committee of PRSP. For further information on this podcast series, visit prsp.ph. Wonderful surprises await the lucky podcast listeners. Find out more on the website. So again, thank you very much. Thank you, the new channel. Thank you, PRSP. Thank you and good day.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.